There are different categories of drugless therapy, and acupuncture, an alternative therapy that involves inserting needles in specific areas of the body to tackle specific pains, is one of them. This oriental form of healing is one of the oldest forms of medicine and an important component of Chinese medicine. Today, acupuncture is popular around the world for its efficacy in pain relieving ability. And so, on this episode of Health Options, we shall be looking at acupuncture as it relates to general wellness. Up also on the program are health tips on environmental hygiene and wellness as we increase our enlightenment on cholera prevention. Many thanks for joining us. I am Salwa Khalil Ibrahim. This is Health Options, and as we focus our attention on acupuncture, we now join the guest, an acupuncturist and a professor of complementary medicine, Professor Sunday Adewale, to take us through the world of acupuncture, where needles hold sway.
Today we want to talk about acupuncture. First and foremost, acupuncture is not an English word. It was coined out from two Latin words, acus and punctus. Acus means needles, punctus means point. So when you join the two together, it's called needle point. Acupuncture came before the birth of Jesus Christ, So, and some people said it evolved when Hahnemann started coming to live an independent life, whereby some tools were fabricated for farming. Along the line, some tools were also fabricated for healing. And along the line, the tendency is for the Hahnemann to be probing or scratching his body with some blunt object. They say pain is a natural response to pain. And as such, human beings have the tendency to always apply pressure when there is pain. For example, if you are having pain anywhere in the body, the tendency is for you to hold that place and then apply some pressure to get a relief. That was how acupuncture came into being. The Chinese, in their wisdom, started with bones from dead animals. They used it to scratch their body. Along the line, they started using bamboo. From there, they started using stones. From there, when civilization started evolving, they were using bottles that would be fabricated to form a form of needles. Then, during the advent of metallurgy, that is when we started this issue of metals, when we were discovering metals, some needles were fabricated from some metals. These days, we have needles made of some alloys of gold, copper, and aluminium and silver. We call them filiform needles.
Now, what are the therapeutic benefits of acupuncture?
Now, acupuncture works in two major ways. The first one is called objective effect. What's the meaning of objective effect? Meaning that though acupuncture is not painful, when you take acupuncture therapy, you are not supposed to have pain, because you don't have pain to cure pain. But when you put it in your body, what are the effects you are going to feel? The effect can be categorized into 4 different parts. The first thing you are going to feel a bit of heaviness on your skin. You are going to feel a bit of soreness. You are going to feel of soreness, heaviness. You are going to feel distension, and then you are going to feel radiation. So these are the things. The Chinese call all this effect Da Qi. Da Qi. Meaning that when the needle is inserted, you are going to feel some sensation. After you are not wood. So when they put needle into your body, you feel some sensation. But that Da Qi is not harmful. You can put the needle here in the foot, and then you start feeling the effect on the head. That is why when Chinese want to treat you for toothache, they will put the needle somewhere around between the big toe and the second toe here. That's the best point for toothache. You can imagine, look at the distance. So the Chinese call this point distal point. We have so many distal points in the body that does a lot of wonders, you know. So the points are not necessarily close to where that problem is. Those are another mystery of acupuncture. So those are the things you are going to feel. It's either you feel one or more of those sensations combined, which the Chinese call the dachi. For example, when you are breathing very fast, maybe you have asthmatic attack, acupuncture can do it in such a way that your breathing could be normalized in a matter of seconds without taking inhaler. That is an homeostatic effect, which has been tried in a number of ways and it has been very, very successful. Or your blood pressure starts running high, acupuncture can bring it back to normal. That is still homeostatic effect. Or you're having very acute stomach pain, acupuncture can calm it down in a matter of minutes. That's still homeostatic effect. The fourth effect is called immune enhancing. Acupuncture has the ability to boost your immunity, and that is why acupuncture can never cause any infection like HIV and the rest of them. It has never happened. But then, care must be taken. The needle you use for a patient, you don't transfer it. You use it and dispose it. You know. The fifth effect is hormonal regulatory. Acupuncture can regulate hormones in our body. You know, hormones, they are body chemicals that is necessary to perform so many physiological functions. There are occasions in which these hormones are not evenly distributed to the required quantity. Like if you have diabetes, for example, or you have sexual issues, infertility, sometimes it could be due to hormonal imbalance. Acupuncture can correct it. The sixth effect is called motor recovery. Motor recovery means when your body can no longer carry out some necessary sensations, like you're having paralysis or you're having some numbness in your system. Acupuncture can activate your system to be able to allow the nerve, the sensations to pass freely in paralysis and stroke and so on. Then we have psychological effects too. This has to do with some people who are having some habits that is becoming addictions. Acupuncture can help to correct it. The last but not the least is the gynae effect. Gynae effect means acupuncture can be used to correct some gynecological issues, infertility. Infertility can affect both men and women. Acupuncture can address all this.
What part of the body can acupuncture be carried out?
Now, as you can see, I have a doll here which depicts human body. You can see some lines there. These lines are called meridians or channels. Energy passes through all these meridians. Then you can see that each line is dotted with some points. Those are acupuncture points. We have over 1,000 of such points in the body. And as a good acupuncturist, you should be able to know those that are essential that you can use to manage various ailments. We have 14 channels in our system that are recognized. 12 regular, 2 extra, making 14 channels, which can be used for various things. Now, we have all these channels now have their name. We have long meridian, large intestine meridian, pericardial meridian, heart meridian. Meridian and channel, they are used interchangeably. It means the same thing, large intestine and so on. We even have conception meridians. Conception meridians for people who are in the want of the womb, who are having some delay to conceive. Conception meridian can be used in that aspect. The conception meridian starts from the lower part of the lip and terminates around the pubic region here, in the perineum, you see. So in the midline, we have the governing meridian too, which is at the midline of the back. We have other ones in the body and in the hands.
Can acupuncture be used in the management of all ailments or not?
Acupuncture is very, very useful in managing so many ailments. But then, I must say this, acupuncture is not a cure-all therapy. Acupuncture has its own exceptions. There are certain ailments that acupuncture cannot be used. There are some situations. For example, acupuncture cannot cure HIV/AIDS. Acupuncture cannot cure cancer, but it can help to mitigate cancer pain. You see? But acupuncture is very good when you want to manage pains generally. What are these pains? Waist pain, arthritis, headache, all forms of headache, stomach pain, dysmenorrhea, and all these things. Then acupuncture can be used to manage some very chronic ailments like high blood pressure, like in diabetes. When we are dealing with diabetes, we are not dealing with nomenclatures. We are dealing with science and symptoms of diabetic. For example, if you are diabetic, you are going to the loo every time, you know, you are peeing too much, acupuncture can correct it. You know, you are losing weight, acupuncture can correct it. Or even if it is in blood pressure issue, acupuncture can bring your blood pressure back to normal, depending on what is causing it. Then, in terms of all forms of headache, we have said it, and some other ailments like that, acupuncture has been found to be very, and it's good in sports medicine too. To people who do sport, when you sustain sports injuries, acupuncture can help. Acupuncture can help in depression, you know. Acupuncture can help somebody to deal with forgetfulness, you know. Acupuncture can help to deal with people who are having stroke and some other related issues like that. So cardiovascular issues, acupuncture can. Stammering, speech-related disorders, conduction deafness, and so on and so forth. So acupuncture can be used.
We shall pause here to take some messages. Join us again.
Kuka that's the name in Hausa.
And that is call it Oshe.
In Yoruba.
Oshe, Igi Oshe.
Okay, so I know it's Kuka.
I am delighted to have you join us on Health Options, the program that not only tracks government policies on health.
The total cholesterol is made up of some components. The high density lipoprotein, which is the good cholesterol, the low density hypoprotein, which is the bad.
Cervical cancer, a type of cancer that develops in a woman's cervix.
There were opportunities for women to get screened for both cervical and breast cancer, maybe up to 30,000, but we'll be having figures of 5,000.
Many thanks for staying on the NTA, and the program is Health Options. We have been looking at acupuncture and health care with an acupuncturist, Professor Sunday Adewale. You may want to know, how affordable is acupuncture?
Acupuncture is not expensive, but you see, in acupuncture, you don't have a fixed price because you have to take so many things into consideration, vis-a-vis the duration of the ailment, then the body composition of individuals. When you come to see an acupuncturist, you will take a minimum of 5 to 10 sessions, or it could be more than that, especially when you are dealing with deep-seated chronic ailments like Parkinson's syndrome or stroke. You may need to take so many sessions, but it's going to work, you know. So that is why it is difficult to really pinpoint that this is what you are going to pay. But that is cheaper than traveling to India and all the rest, if you ask me. I always have so many patients traveling to India to let us try acupuncture, you know. At the end of the day, it is cheaper. So what I'm saying is, if acupuncture is given the needed attention, this health tourism of a thing can be cut to its barest minimum, and we can conserve some foreign exchange in the process. So what we are looking forward to is government to encourage the use of acupuncture. Especially, they should try to create an institution. Most of us who acquire this knowledge, we have to travel abroad. I've been to so many countries of the world to acquire my skills, and that is why we are trying to be quit on some doctors. So if government should come in and, you know, establish an institution, I mean, I think it's going to really help the nation, to help our healthcare delivery system.
Let's now get to the practicals as Professor Sunday Adewale demonstrates some procedures in acupuncture.
Acupuncture needles looks like this. People have asked so many questions regarding the needles. Some people said, is it that you soak it in a concoction? Or what kind of needle was it made of? It's made of just ordinary needles. I always tell people that you can use the needles you use to sew your cloth, provided they are well sterilized. But only that these needles have been sterilized, tamper-proof, you know. This is a thing that can be fabricated there in Nigeria, you know. This is made of just needles. They are just needles. Because you can also use your ordinary hand to relieve pain. For example, if you have a headache, this is what you can do yourself at home. Please pay attention. This is your right hand. This is your left hand. You see a line here. You can bring the hand, bring it together like this. When you bring it together like this, you can allow the tip of this thumb, this is called the thumb, allow it to drop like this. You see, my thumb is resting on the most potent analgesic point in the body. See, this is my thumb. So how will I apply the pressure? I can apply the pressure when I allow my index finger to meet the tip of that thumb, just like this. Here, and then I apply pressure. See, when you do this, you press it, you do this. By the time you do this, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and you shake your head, the headache is gone. Yes, you don't need to take any drug for that one. Now I want to now use the needles. What will I do? This is the amateur method. Each needle is equipped with a needle guide. This is a needle guide, and this is the acupuncture needle. Why the needle guide? The needle guide is meant for amateur, and like I said, acupuncture is not painful, because I know some people, when they see needles, they will be fidgeting, but this one is not painful at all. So the first step is to insert the needle inside the needle guide, just like this. The needle is inside the needle guide. I want to treat her of headache if she has any. This, put it on the point for headache. This point is called Hoku. Hoku. Hoku in Chinese means the great pain eliminator, and it's located on large intestine 4. It's one of the most popular acupuncture points in the body, and it's the best analgesic point in the body. See, now the thing is there. See, the needle will fall. See. So what I will do is I will now tap it with my index finger. See. And then I will now do this. That's it. It's not painful. But as it is working. If anyone is having headache, when you insert these needles, under 30 seconds, the headache goes away. It's as simple as that. So, and then when you remove it, there is no blood. There shouldn't be any blood. That is if you are professional with it. No blood, no bleeding. So that's it. That's for treatment of headache. Now, assuming it is the issue of asthmatic attack, you are in an environment, your patient is breathing. I have seen a situation in which they use an inhaler and the patient never came back until we use acupuncture. So what will you do? This is the point for asthmatic attack. This point in Chinese is called Konzui. It's a cyclet point and it's located on long 6. It's called long 6. Serving soon to the wrist crease. This is the point. So when somebody is having asthmatic attack, put the needle like this. See. And you stimulate. When you stimulate like that continuously, within 30 seconds, the breathing will come back to normal. And even if it is in the case of cough, there are some cough that we just come, we call them spontaneous cough. Maybe because of the AC or anything, you see a guest on high table start coughing. If you are an acupuncturist, you are there, use this point. The cough will subside immediately. Or if you see a patient who is bleeding through the nose, which is called hemoptysis, put the needle here and just stimulate it. It will stop the bleeding through the nose immediately before another medical care arrives. You will save that patient. But in case of cholera attack, whereby some symptoms are presented, like frequent stooling, acupuncture can help to mitigate the stooling almost immediately. Vomiting, yes, there are points that can stop vomiting instantly. Pericardium 6 is very good for that. It can stop vomiting instantly. Then stooling can be stopped by REM 4. The Chinese call this point Kuan Yuan. The meaning of Kuan Yuan in Chinese means frequent watery stooling. So there are points for that. So we are not saying the person should not be giving drip and the rest, but to save that patient, give him acupuncture first, at least to bring him back. And if one has fainted, this is very important. We have so many points that can be used when somebody faints. When you faint, like at first, you see that hole. That is where you are going. You put the key just in the middle and you switch it like this. The patient will wake up immediately.
Stay tuned to Health Options as we bring you some tips on environmental hygiene and wellness after this time out.
A method for digital literacy is a bot that you can use, you can interact to learn more about digital literacy.
Hello, it's our pleasure to have you join us on platform. I'm Ruth Aguwele.
What is the yardstick for measuring everybody's moral integrity? It's critical at this point in time.
How daunting has that been for the Institute in getting them abreast with all the legislative procedures?
The fact remains that one training workshop is not enough.
What we are encouraging, more especially, our villagers that lives within the riverine area, because they are the people at risk, is to make sure that after collecting water from water sources, which is the river, which we know is already contaminated because of our behavior of open defecation, because the rainwater has washed everything into the river. So they have to, after taking the water, they must boil the water. Not only boiling the water that is concerned, they should go and maybe at the local government level, maybe the local government should buy in and start giving them this water guard so that they will be adding into their water. Then don't take raw fruits. Wash it very well with vinegar or salt before you prepare it at home. It's also a major source of transmission. So once we have addressed this, I want to assure Nigerians that we are going to control and we curtail the outbreak.
I think it's important that everyone pays attention to sanitation, wash your hands, avoid contamination of water with fecal materials, and be sure you know the source of water that you drink. Keep clean environment, avoid open defecation. That is the message that all of us have to extend, and our traditional leaders, religious leaders, community leaders, private sector, they all have to contribute to educate our people that infectious disease like cholera gets spread when there is poor hygiene, poor sanitation. And of course, the quality of water is something that governments at all levels have to continue to work towards improving.
We have come to the end of this week's episode of Health Options. You can watch these and previous episodes of the program at www.nta.gov.ng, where you can also send us your questions, comments, and suggestions. Thanks for watching.